the reasons are quite different for different age groups.
Yeah. But then when it comes to love scams, I feel it is across the board. Anyone who feels lonely or left out, or they will fall
friendless.
into that.
Yeah.
But they use that account as like a mule account, you know. So they will scam other people. Other people will send the money to that account. Speaking of scam,
Yes.
do you know anyone?
I know of a distant aunt who recently got scammed. She's quite elderly, educated. She used to be a school principal. It was some insurance scam. It wasn't a romantic scam, but they called her and said, "Oh, you have not paid your premium for whatever, and if you don't pay soon, you are going to, this policy is going to lapse." Just put the fear of God in her. And then had this, and they have this way of saying, "Oh, are you outside? Are you busy? Can I call you back?" You know, and then of course you'll be like, "Oh, no, it's okay." Or she said that lah, and the person said, I can't seem to hear you properly. All this is part of their tactic. Maybe you can go into a room and close the door so we can talk better. They just wanted her to be alone, so that there wouldn't be a family member or friend who say, "Who's that? What are you saying to that person?" You know, when you hear someone's answer, sometimes you'll be like, just hang up. You know what I mean? Especially if it's an elderly person. So they were very smart. They lured her to a room by herself. And so her niece, I think, who lives with her, couldn't go into the room for whatever reason. "Hey, why are you talking to this person for so long?" The conversation went on for like half an hour or something. By which time they had sent her a link. She had clicked the link and she had transferred over 35K to this don't know who. Okay. Yeah. And then later on, after she came out, then of course the niece said, "Nonsense, like if you don't pay your insurance policy, it doesn't work like that. They will just keep sending you reminders, and in fact they will keep extending it. They don't call you out and threaten you like that, and you don't send a whole lump sum of 35K. That's when she realized. Then they went to the police, blah blah blah, but they couldn't recover the money in the end, because it was a very sophisticated banking scam, where the link to the bank, it shows that you approved it. The account holder approved it. So the bank said, "This is what we received, so we cannot give you back the money." It's terrible, right? Yeah. So this was the latest one I heard.
Okay. It's only I think you can get your money back if they try to get into your account and they siphon the money directly. Then you can get your money back.
Correct. But they didn't. They did it through her. Yeah. So unfortunate.
That's quite sad.
Yeah.
But luckily it's not her whole life savings. Hopefully it's
Luckily, it's not. I mean, she's quite wealthy, thankfully, but it's still ouch. You might as well just give that money to charity, right? So
Or the recent case where the man got scammed, 3.8 million. Did you read about that one?
No,
because
I
he
didn't.
thought he was on a Zoom call with our Prime Minister.
Oh no.
What happened was he came into the Zoom, it was like end of the Zoom already. So like you can see them talking, then it's like, okay, end already. And then someone contacted him by WhatsApp and say, "Oh, you know, as you have seen the Zoom, whatever, we need money, whatever, the government will give you back after 3 weeks or something to that effect." I don't remember the details. Maybe as part of this video, I'll put the picture or some link people can go and watch. So what happened after that was that the government somehow got hold of this particular Zoom video with Indrani and Lawrence Wong, right, and show to people and say this is not an actual thing. Yeah. And I think people fall into this trap because
Have a heart of charity. Subscribe to our podcast, Empowered at Midlife. For me, I'm just starting out. Shamala has been doing this for a while, but as a fledgling podcaster, I would really appreciate people who would listen, watch, and give us your comments. Even if you don't like it, even if you don't agree, we can have a conversation on that too. Yeah, and who knows, you could be part of our podcast later. But you must subscribe. Thank you.
okay, there are a few things that people can fall into trap easily, right? Loneliness is firstly one of them. Secondly is like wanting to feel important. So that can happen, right? Like you want to be part of a group of important people. So you like, okay, I want to jump in, right?
Yeah.
And the third thing I feel is greed. Usually when people are greedy, these are the top three I can think of at the moment that why you fall into scam, right? Like you want to buy something, then they tell you, oh, you just pay this much more, then you get don't know how much more. It comes from our greed, right? Even if it's a little thing that we want.
Yes. Or they'll say you put in $500, it will grow exponentially to like 1.5K in a week.
Yeah.
Then that's also greed, right? Inspired by greed.
Yeah.
Or sometimes fear lah, like my poor aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fearful that her policy would lapse that she just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are four things, right? Four things.
Yeah.
Fear. I think fear affects the really elderly, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't really understand technology.
Yes.
They don't they keep spreading by WhatsApp all these AI videos and all that. And I say this is AI generated. This is not real,
Yeah.
But they can't tell the difference.
All the fake things. Yeah. Okay, I used to volunteer at SOS. I don't know if I told you. Yeah. So there was a young girl. Okay, young people will fall for scams out of greed. Yeah. So this young girl, she called and she said, I'm very frightened. I have to tell my mom that I lost a huge amount of money. It's actually her money. Because I was greedy, I got caught in this scam. They said I can earn so much more money if I put in this amount. Then they kept asking me for more and more money. Then she said, I'm very, very frightened. I dare not tell my mom.
Oh
so
no.
I said, I asked her, how much money? I thought like, maybe just a few $1,000s. It was something crazy like 50 to 80K.
Wow.
It was a crazy amount. I said, you have to tell your mother. And you have to tell her after we hang up, okay? I said, immediately, you have to tell your mother. She said, but I'm very scared. I dare not tell her. She'll be very angry. And I'm thinking I said, but it's your mother's money. And I said, it's a very big amount of money. And she said, oh, my mother has a lot of money. She said that. I said, that's not the point, And I said, your mother, no matter what she says to you, she's your mother. Okay? So don't let that fear make you dishonest and then hold it back from her and then let it drag on like for however long. If she finds out on her own that it's been drained from her account, it'll be worse. At least if you're honest, it will help. Yeah. So I remember talking to this girl and I think I asked her, how old are you? And she was like in her teens.
How come she got access to so much money?
One of those kids that, mother got no time for her and then just like,
oh no.
Yeah, you just buy whatever you need lah. Yeah. And then they get up to all these things. Also maybe in part out of loneliness in a way. So some interaction and out of feeling important. Like, hey, I'm doing an investment. No, mom, I made your money grow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I still remember.
Wow.
She was so frightened and I didn't blame her.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, good luck to you, kid. I mean, my house.
How long ago was this?
During COVID time. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe 2020, yeah.
So she should be in her early 20s now?
Now, yeah.
Hopefully she
but
has
I was
learned.
very glad. She said, "Oh no, it's not my mother's life saving." She said, "Don't worry, my mother got a lot of money. She earns a lot of money." I said, "Okay,
But it's
I'm
still hard-earned
glad."
money.
Yeah, so that's why I told her. I said it's still a lot of money that she has to work for. Yeah. She said, "But I'm very frightened." No, like, "Ayo, really brat, no." I think she even said, hey, she even asked me, "Can you tell my mother for me?" So I will call my mother and I'll tell her that you have something to tell her. Then you tell her for me. I said, huh? How ridiculous is that? I said, no, it's got nothing to do with me.
That's so funny.
Yo.
How did you work the SOS lines during COVID from home?
No, we carried on because this was a service that could not stop. So it
Oh,
became an essential service. Yeah.
even more so, right?
Correct.
During that time.
Yes. There are a lot of people at quarantine, very stressed in the hotel room, want to kill themselves. I even had that.
Wow.
Yeah. Anxiety attack in the hotel room.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had to go. We had to brave
Okay.
the virus, wear
Okay.
masks, clean the phone like hell. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until someone in SOS got it, then I stopped going.
Okay.
I said, no, I'm going to take a break. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scams, the reasons are quite different for different age groups.
Yeah. But then when it comes to love scams, I feel it is across the board. Anyone who feels lonely or left out,
Yes.
or they will
Yeah.
fall into
Friendless.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm, they will
Yeah.
fall into that.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I think when someone is feeling lonely and this opportunity comes up, right, to have a relationship, a romance with
Mm.
someone who
Mm.
looks like they are good
Yeah.
looking and
And they're usually very caring and loving and say all the right things,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
No
yeah,
narcissistic behavior,
no,
nothing to put you off or
yeah.
yeah.
I hear stories about this where midlife women they have these romance with men in third world countries.
Mm.
So they would actually almost like they went to these places to have a holiday and
Mm.
then they meet these much younger men
Mm.
who maybe it could be their porter or their driver, right? And then the guy starts to or says that he developed feelings for this person.
Right.
And then they will when this lady
Goes
leaves,
back. Mm.
they will have a long distance, right?
Mm.
But the problem with these long distance is that if they are just WhatsApping, right, you don't know who is actually WhatsApping you.
Correct.
It could be a syndicate, right? And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
someone in the background just typing the answers. Like
Yeah.
they take
Correct. Yeah.
they take
Stock
turns.
could be stock answers even. Yeah.
Mm. And I've heard recently of someone who has a friend who is involved, and everybody around is quite sure it's a scam because it's a long
Okay.
game. Yeah, they will play the long game,
Okay.
and so everybody is saying this is a scam, but she doesn't believe
Really?
because
Okay.
she has gone to the country, she has
She
visited,
has seen there was a face-to-face contact with someone lah. Yeah.
yeah, with
Yeah.
with the guy, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
how far they went, we don't know, right?
Okay.
Whether they
Okay.
end up in bed and all of that. I'm sure they did lah, But then we were, amongst my friends and we were saying, then it will come a point in time when this person will say, we need money because my father is very sick. And because you already know them, right? You already know this guy, you will very easily send money over. And the amount will just keep increasing. And then one day, no more contact. That seems
Mm.
to be the way it's being
Mm.
operated.
The process. Yeah.
And I've heard stories about this. The guy just completely disappeared. And there was another story I've heard. This lady was going to marry this guy also, and then even got a visa for him to get married. And everybody's trying and stop this marriage. And they eventually did manage I think he managed to scam a bit of money out of her, and everyone around said stop. Then eventually, they managed to stop, and then the guy disappeared.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did the guy intend to actually go to Australia?
Yes.
Okay.
But apparently he also has a girlfriend, and the girlfriend has a kid or something like that. And this is a much older lady also, the Australian. So it's
Mm,
like, and this was ongoing. I think even before COVID,
mm,
it
mm,
already happened, right? And I
yeah,
think this kind of love scam
yeah,
it's like very popular lah. Even
yeah,
before
yeah.
before love scams became highlighted, right? It was
Sure,
already happening.
sure. We just didn't hear so much about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe
And
people
people don't want to talk about it.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
I have a friend, up to today, some of us are not sure whether she was scammed or not because um, eventually the guy died.
Oh no.
Yeah, so, but he died in his country. So he never, so you don't really know. And she never went over because she couldn't travel at the time, it was COVID. So she was not part of his so-called illness. She was not part of his funeral, nothing. Everything was uh, relayed to her through his sister. Uh,
So did he really die?
we don't know. Yeah. So that's the thing. She sent a lot of, they were building a house in his country, and the plan was for her to go over to live there with him and his extended family. Eventually, when the house was properly built and she could get her visa, blah, blah, blah. But in the meantime, she was sending money for the building of their house. Yeah. And then when COVID happened, uh, she was told that he had COVID, okay, and he had to go under quarantine or something, and I think he was mentally not very well.
Okay.
Yeah, so the quarantine brought him to the brink, and apparently he killed himself. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
he didn't die of
Okay.
any illness, but it was kind of told to her that he took his own life. Yeah. So I don't know.
Did they ever meet?
Yes, they did. Yeah, she did go over for holidays to be with him. I don't know how
Okay.
often they were together and for how long. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Did she send money? Did she ever send money?
well, she had to send money to build the house.
Oh
It's all
yeah.
from her. Every cent that went into the building of this house came from her.
Did she ever see the house?
I don't think so.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't think she ever went over, which I think is very funny because why would you not? After COVID, even though he says he's dead, I mean, okay, apparently says he died, you would still want to go and see the house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she didn't. Yeah. So it's almost like, okay, I give you all the house, to the family
Okay.
since I'm not going to be part of it in a way. She was mourning him and she was very, very sad that he died. Um, she was sadder about that than wondering if she was scammed. I don't think she thought she was scammed at all. And I don't know if she was scammed. I mean, this is just
Yeah, it's so hard to know,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, so hard to know.
yeah.
Mm. Like there was a situation I was in maybe 15 years ago. I remember Sasha was still very young. Um, this this orphanage in a third world. I'm not going to
Mm,
name the. I'm not going to name the
mm,
country. In a third world country, sent an email
mm,
and said because at that time there was I think there was tsunami or some flood or something lah. Something happened, right? and asking for help. Sincere enough, right? And also sent a lot of pictures of the destruction. So I said, okay, what do you need? Right? And so I collected some money from people. It wasn't a lot of money lah. I mean, to be honest, it's only like maybe at most 300 or whatever collection I could get from people, right? Whatever people wanted to contribute. At that time, people were still very not so, they were kinder in that sense. They don't hesitate so much. And so people contribute 50 or whatever. So in the end, the amount came out to maybe at most less than 500.
Okay.
So I'll send money by Western Union to the guy's name, proper name, right? And then after I send money, send stuff, the guy would take photos of the actual package that I sent. Take photos with the kids. In the backdrop was the whatever they were building lah.
Yeah.
Right? And as like evidence.
Okay.
Right? And so I thought, okay, I mean, not a big amount, even if he just used these kids to lie about it. There's no way of knowing. I just need to give based on trust. So I kept collecting or sending money for about a year. Yeah. And at one point there was this he made this huge banner with the name of, I think, our organization or something, and made a huge banner in front of this building with all the little kids, and they were all like saying hi or like, he sent a lot of photos.
Okay.
So I said, okay, if he was a scammer, he's not going to take the trouble, right, to do all that.
Sure.
It's a lot of work to paint the banner, and it was like very roughly made, but it was made, handmade, right? And I was like, okay, I need to give it to this guy lah, even if he was a scammer, all right. I mean, he did whatever he did. Then after that, some people said, this could be a scam. I said, I don't know lah. I just need to give benefit of the doubt lah, and I hope that whatever we contributed got to the people who really needed it. Yeah. And sometimes we would send not just clothes but other stuff as well, I can't remember what, like essentials that they may need, and we ship it off. And we'll always be acknowledged lah, which is a good thing. It's like he didn't disappear or anything like that.
Okay.
So it was
so do you still think it's a scam?
I have no idea. There's no way of knowing.
Okay.
There's really no way of knowing. Yeah.
But it's okay lah. You did it out of the kindness of your heart. So it's on them if it's not authentic. Yeah.
So it's and I think maybe now it's much easier to find out whether it's a scam.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. At that time, it's so hard to know, right?
I know, of course, yeah. Actually, now it's quite hard to scam. Now I feel, right?
It's quite easy. It's easier and
easy
also
in a sense, yeah.
It's both, I feel, because now if they give me the address, I can go to Google Earth and I can see, right? In 15 years ago, it's not possible.
Correct.
Yeah. So times have changed so much.
Yeah. And people are so suspicious now. They're like, too good to be true. It's a scam,
And I feel sad for people who genuinely need the help.
Yes.
Because now if they ask for help, it's harder to get because people would think it's a scam.
Correct. Yeah. Thanks to all the scammers out there. Oh.
Yeah. And even if they set up a GoFundMe, right?
Anybody can do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That one has no regulations at all, right?
Yeah. But I think maybe they're stricter now, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't like this, GoFundMe thing. Yeah. It's just, don't trust it. Yeah.
Because you don't really know where the money goes.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. And there are a lot of these kind of websites that collects money for other people.
Yes.
How would you know?
There are different platforms nowadays, right? Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just set up one and then take all the money.
No, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I must tell you something very funny. Recently, I discovered this Bangkok, this Thai toiletries brand called Soap Opera. It's from Bangkok. I saw it on Instagram, and all the merchandise is in baht. So when you convert, it's very affordable. Like good quality, essential oils, all natural ingredients, liquid soap, solid soaps, deodorant, stuff like that, candles. So I know that my brother likes solid soaps. I went to look, I calculated 1 bar of soap, and it's like nice essential oil soap. It's like $3 Singapore dollars. So I sent it to him. I said, hey, check this out. It's $3 a bar. The one I bought for you for your birthday is $11 a bar, and I really thought it was so cheap. Then he said, wow, that's very cheap. Then he said, I think it's a scam. Immediately he said, I think it's a scam. I said, no lah. So I went to check. It's legit. In the end, it's legit because my friend actually went to the shop in Bangkok and she bought stuff, and I also bought online and it came. Everything was fine. Yeah. But you see, there are situations like that when you look at a Singaporean looks at a bar of soap and says $3 is a scam.
Yeah.
That's quite funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like the liquid soaps, which I bought in the end, it's like $10, $11 for 500 ml, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, but you can buy quite nicely priced, good quality soaps on Shopee or even TikTok shop.
Oh yeah?
Down the
Okay.
street from me, there is a shop that sells soaps, essential oil soaps, and quite good quality. They're all made in India. It's like all the sandalwood and
Right.
also very cheap.
Oh,
You
okay.
buy two, get one free.
Ah.
Yeah, I think because the Singapore dollar is strong.
Yeah lah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Singapore dollar strong, then everything else like
Correct.
feels so cheap.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway.
Mm.
But I also read, going back to the scam thing, right, that men and women both equally get scammed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The percentage is quite equal.
Yeah. Not surprised.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
And then of course for men it's the fishing, like, you know, they see a beautiful woman whom they think is above their standard, you know, being interested in them. That's how they get scared.
Yeah.
More out of lust than love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was I having a conversation with? Was it with you? We're talking about China girls going for older Singapore men because of the HDB flat. They would willingly marry the man as well.
Like for real, just to okay. And then later on, then decide what they want to do or what.
So they hope the guy will die before then they take over lah, the flat, the CPF money.
Okay, that's a very long game.
It's a long game. And
you have to put up with this man for however long. You don't even know. Not a very good scam. Sorry.
Okay, interestingly, what was told to me is that these women are in their middle age. So they are going after men who are in their 80s.
About to die, but still interested in life.
Yes. And they will make sure that the guy will change the names and all so that the kids don't get anything. The children don't get anything and she will get everything.
The will, make him change his will. Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, who was I talking to about this? I can't remember.
Don't think it was with me, but
not with you, right?
Yeah, but wow. That's elder love scam.
Yeah. And also I think this is most people who work in insurance or funeral business or business where they are one-on-one with people a lot, right? They have said that women will survive when their husband dies. They are perfectly fine to be alone. But for a man, if their wives pass on, they get very lonely and they will have to find someone else, like a companion. So they become quite easy victims.
Very vulnerable. Yeah.
Very, very vulnerable.
Yeah.
And once they get married, right, they sign a dotted line, that's it. I mean, you know,
It's very sad.
You can't do
Yeah.
anything. Everything goes.
Correct. Yeah. Imagine that's your dad.
Yeah.
How you would feel, right?
Mm.
Yeah. I saw a TikTok video that for women, when their spouses die, they actually do better. Like, they have this like, okay lah, I'm quite sad he's gone, but my health has improved. Yeah.
Yes. All the chronic pains and
Yes.
diseases
Yes.
suddenly disappear.
All the unknown. Yeah. Don't know what's causing this. Yeah. All gone. Yeah.
So now we know.
Funny, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
inflammation, isn't it? When
Yes.
so
Inflammation.
inflamed by the
Correct.
relationship, by
Stress. Yeah.
whatever the
The unhappiness. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I used to grieve when he was alive. Now he's dead. Yeah, okay, I grieve in a different way.
yeah, which is quite funny.
It is. When they are the widowers, they're actually easy targets.
Very, very
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
easy. Yeah. I think middle-aged women, if they were to get scammed, love scammed, is usually like they have this feeling of being incomplete, so that they want to
Mm.
look for someone, and usually it's like someone from another country lah, for some reason. Like they go on holiday, because the whole idea, right, it just seems so romantic, I guess. Right, like they go hiking in Kathmandu, Nepal, then
Sure.
the porter is there constantly, right, looking after, taking care of your needs, and yeah, so it happens.
And I think more so women who have never been married, I feel. Like for women who have been married and maybe, okay, husband died, unlikely. They'll be
Yeah.
like, okay, new way of living. Not gonna have this appendage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
true.
I feel there is a subtle difference in their outlook.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, no need lah. One husband is enough. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've done it already. It's
But I
fine.
think for those who are divorced,
Okay,
it's a
divorce.
different
Maybe
feeling.
a bit different. Yeah.
Yeah, because depending on how the
You
marriage
might
ended,
feel like
right?
you failed. So you
Yeah.
wanna redo. You
Yeah.
wanna redo, right?
Yeah. Or you feel like
Like
so
maybe this is
unfair.
the one. Yeah. Yeah.
Or so unfair, like
Like
this
a
marriage,
revenge romance.
yes, like this
Yes.
man took away my youth,
Correct.
like
Yeah.
revenge
Romance. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas widows, very different.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite different. They don't fall into the category of the quick romance.
Correct.
They'll be much
Yeah.
more careful, I guess. Yeah.
I know many widows. There are many widows in my circle.
Yeah.
None of them are remotely even interested in a relationship. Yeah.
Well, even divorced men, very fast also. Not
Oh,
just
for sure. Yeah, that one's like revenge. Really,
very
really let you see.
quickly.
Yeah.
It's like not even, maybe haven't even signed yet, right? Separated, already jump into another relationship. I mean, that was the case with my ex lah.
Can't be by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fast.
Sometimes it's also the individual, they just cannot enjoy their own company or whatever.
Yeah. I actually don't know many men who can stay single for long.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know of any single man who's been single? Oh, I mean, you did mention your
My
brother.
brother,
Yeah. Which is very unusual.
yeah.
It's not common. Most men, even
It's not common. You're right. Yeah.
it's not common. Once they're divorced, it's very fast.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's my brother is very bochap. So I think he finds it a chore to maintain a relationship and to make someone else happy, you know.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't be bothered.
Happy about himself.
Yeah,
Huh?
it's like, I want to be happy myself. So thank you.
Yeah. Which is a good thing.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you think people can recover from a love scam? Not only do you have to
Oh,
recover from a heartbreak, you also recover
you have to
money
forgive. You have
loss.
to forgive yourself.
Mm.
Tell yourself. You have to remind yourself that it is not because you were desperate or stupid. Or, I don't. Maybe some people might think, no, you should tell yourself that so that you will always learn from it. But
That's true to some extent.
yeah, but I feel that the emotional scars are harder to get over
It's very
than
deep,
the
right?
material loss.
Yeah.
So you got to take care of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really tell yourself, made a mistake. And
Mm.
everybody makes mistakes. It's just different kinds of mistakes. And there's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
But you learn from it lah. You just have to learn from it. Yeah. But
Mm.
it's no reflection of how inadequate you are
Mm.
as a human
Mm.
being. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or how shitty your life was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the pain from this kind of love scam is as deep as having your husband betray you or
Of
going through a
course.
divorce or a breakup, even if
Maybe,
it wasn't a real relationship, because in your eyes it was a real relationship, right?
yes.
But and I think your whole foundation of your life just collapses because what you thought was real, what you thought was a future you could build on, suddenly it's like
Yes.
wiped out overnight, just
Yes.
gone.
Yes. I think
It,
it's worse, I feel, than a real relationship that went wrong. Yeah, because people start out with good intentions.
mm,
So there was always that.
yeah,
That was that authenticity. You know? It's
yeah,
like, yeah. But
yeah,
this one is like from the start that person did not have
yeah,
good intentions already. So
yeah,
that makes you feel stupid and
yeah,
ashamed. Yeah.
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 The shame is quite a
It's
big
very
one.
it's yeah. So, and I mean, I want to tell people that you are no less dignified as a
Mm,
human being, no matter what. I mean, you did it out of good intention. You did it
mm,
for love, and that's the highest virtue ever. So
mm,
don't beat yourself up. If
yeah,
you do anything for love, even if it was a mistake,
yeah,
you did not make the mistake in that sense. The other
yeah,
person did. Yeah.
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 I think most importantly, they need to seek help
Yes.
because the pain will
Yes.
linger.
Yes.
And if they don't seek help, it can
Yeah.
turn into something bad.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yes.
don't want that to happen.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But okay, that's love scam aside. In terms of money scam, I know of people who got scammed not just once, but more than once.
Oh,
I'm not sure whether to share this story, but I'm not naming names. So,
okay.
but this is an interesting story because, and I think people can learn from it. So what happened was this friend, I think she knew that it was a scam, that she did not want to. I don't know why she maintained it lah. But
Hmm.
when I say maintain it, what I meant is it went on for 6 months.
Even though
So what
she knew.
happened? Yeah. So what happened was
Oh,
this person claimed to be police
oh,
and said that there's some illegal activity in a bank account
okay.
and to give bank account details or something like that. And then what they did was they took over the account, which didn't have a lot of money. She had several accounts, right? That interestingly, that particular account, luckily she chose
Thank
the account that
God.
didn't have
Yeah.
a lot of money in it.
Yeah.
But they used that account as like a mule account, so they would scam other people. Other people would send the money to that
Oh,
account and then immediately take the money out from the account.
sure.
So it's like a standby
Holding. Yeah.
account. And yeah, it was holding. And then so she was locked out of her account and they told her that while they're still investigating, she won't have access to the account. And that every day, okay, this is the part which would immediately make me go, huh? But every day, she's supposed to check in with this police officer via, I think it was via Line or WeChat or one of these funny chat options, right? It's
So
not even WhatsApp,
weird.
right? And every day
Yeah.
you're supposed to check in, right? With this guy, like 3 times a day or something like that.
To do what?
Specific, I actually don't know why. I can't remember what's their
So
reasoning.
weird.
What happened was every day, she would check in and the person would say, oh, we'll take a snapshot of what they're eating, their food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, right? The police officer take a snapshot and
So
have a
weird.
chit chat with this friend, right? And say, okay, oh hi, yes, checking in. I know you're, and she wasn't supposed to leave the country. I think it was during COVID as well. Say, oh, this is what I'm having for breakfast. What are you having? So like normal chit chat, very friendly, right?
So weird.
So they maintained that for 6 months. Okay, the first phone call that she received saying from the police, right? It was a phone call. The background was very busy and it sounded like a real police station. So she believed it. Oh, now I remember how she realized that it was not the real thing because she checked in, but there was no response.
Oh. He ghosted, the scammer ghosted her. I got ghosted by my scammer. Sounds like a world cover line.
Yeah. And then she realized, why so weird?
So then this person disappeared lah, basically, permanently.
Because they got caught. I think this case came out in the newspaper.
Oh, so the whole thing was uncovered.
Yes.
So did she get her money back? In any form?
No, it was a very small amount, like 1,000 plus.
Okay.
So in the end, I mean, she had to go police station and all that, and then when they asked her, "Do you want your money back?" It will take some time, Then there's a lot of paperwork lah. Then she said, "No lah, forget it lah. I don't want." It's like I just want all these things to be over.
Sure.
So yeah, her account was used as that account. They managed the police did the investigation and managed to trace back. Like they must be wondering why the money all go into this person's account, right?
Yeah.
And then,
like, is she part of it?
Yeah.
I mean, she has to prove that she's also not part of it, right?
Yeah. Somehow they knew because I think they sent her a letter as well and asked her to take the letter and go to the police station. The real police sent her a letter.
Yeah.
And asked her to go police station.
Yeah.
And then so she had to relay the whole story and she felt quite foolish, but then she was also it was out of fear because they said something about her putting money in the wrong investment and it was money laundering, which she actually thought she was doing that, but actually she wasn't.
Like an illegal investment scheme.
Yeah, but it wasn't, so then she got frightened. She thought, oh no, whatever I put in was illegal, so they need to seize my account. And so they were quite smart. Like they chose, I don't know how many people they tried before they got the right one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But so I think after they used that playbook, right? It was in the newspaper. I think it came out maybe 2022 or 2021. After that, this particular playbook cannot be played anymore. Then they try different techniques.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So scary. Recently, one of our she's a person who coordinates volunteers for the Catholic SG radio. So I volunteer to do voiceovers, and so we have a group chat, but she's the coordinator. Her phone got hacked, so she could not WhatsApp us on the group chat. Luckily, she's also on Telegram, so she contacted me. She said, la 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 la, all this, okay? And the hacker was so fast because she was the admin. He or she could do so many things on the group chat. Started kicking all of us out of the chat. And initially, I think the person even WhatsApped a few of us to ask for the number, the code, the WhatsApp code, which got sent to us. Of course, none of us responded. Then when the person realized that, okay, this is no go, just started kicking everyone out. Yeah. So it was quite bad. Like,
How did they manage to hack her phone in the
I
first
don't know how
place?
they hacked her phone, but because unfortunately she was the admin, that the hacker had the control. Yeah. And then someone else who was also on that chat, we were communicating directly, and she said, hey, she's also in another group chat with us. Doesn't that mean the hacker has infiltrated that group chat? I said, oh yes. So I went to check. True enough, I could tell that was the hacker, not her anymore, because the handle name completely changed, but it was her photo. So I directly messaged the admin of that chat, which is a different admin, thankfully, and said, do you know the hacker is in our group chat? You got to kick this person out now. And I'm leaving the chat. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm closing this chat. I don't want to be part of it. Later on, y'all can contact me. Yeah, so it took a few weeks for her to recover, like her banking. It was all affected. Yeah. So
She must have clicked on something
scary.
to enable
She
a
didn't tell us
takeover.
how, but we were so frightened. Later on, when she tried to reach out to us, we also had scared. To add us again on the WhatsApp to form a new chat. Then we were texting each other like, hey, is it real or not? Should we join? I said, I don't know. I don't want to join first. I said, just let it be. I don't care.
So funny.
Yeah, then much later on, we verified it was her. Then, okay, we all joined back. But very scary.
Mm,
I mean, some innocent person might just react to it in the right
yeah.
way that they want, and that's it. Don't know
Mm,
what will happen.
yeah.
Scary.
Yeah. I think they try all kinds of ways. I think the latest one is they send you money and they ask you to send the money back. So one time my father got it. People send him money and then he said I got some money, like I don't know who sent. I said just leave it.
Yeah,
If
keep it.
someone
Keep it.
I
Yeah.
say if someone texts you and say want the money back, ask you to send back, please don't.
Yeah.
You just tell the bank,
Yeah.
let the bank
This
settle it.
what happened. Yeah.
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 That's the thing they're doing now. Yeah. It's
Scary.
Yeah, they're coming out with all kinds of apps and malware
Yes.
to
Yes.
so now even
Yes.
government stuff that comes in, I
You
don't
have to
even
be,
want to.
yes, correct.
Yeah,
It's like you can't tell if it's for real or not
yeah,
anymore. Yeah.
yeah. And I think the government stuff is also quite dumb. They'll give you a link and say, "Oh, click on this link to access."
Yeah, they
I'm like, you
shouldn't.
are already warning people
Correct.
about scams, and then you do this
Correct.
thing. Just tell
Yeah.
them to go
Correct.
website or go through
Exactly.
their Sing Pass, right?
Uh,
To
just go through the SingPass because I think that one is highly protected, right?
I don't
I don't
know.
know. I don't
Even
know.
the Sing Pass
Yeah.
is like, I
I'm
don't know,
sure there are hackers who can
who
do all
try,
kinds of things.
who
Yeah.
try.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
That's
so
how people
scary.
can siphon money out from CPF.
Oh my gosh.
Mm. It has happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I think they've capped. And even now our banks, right? If you want to transfer to a new
Mm,
person, you have to wait
they're very careful. Yes.
24 hours or 12
Yes.
hours.
I think it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the PayNow as well. You cannot use nicknames anymore. It has to be actual name.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's actually
Yes.
very good. All
Yeah.
these things in place. They all never thought about these things before. So, it's like so reactive, right? Like things happen and
I
you,
know Singapore, like, oh, okay, okay, now we have to do everything. Yeah.
yeah.
But someone actually told me nicknames are safer because it's very easy to find out your actual name, but nicknames are very private. So it's like out of the blue, you come up, you create a nickname for your PayNow, right? It's actually safer because it's
Oh, but then
harder
your
to
bank
get.
account has to be in your name, what?
Yeah, but I don't know. This person said your PayNow handle should not be your actual name.
Oh,
He said it's actually safer to use a nickname. Yeah, definitely don't give your full name. And social media, I guess that's how they will try and strike up a friendship with you, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of that.
A
Like they
lot.
pretend to be celebrities.
Yes. Yeah, I think
Yeah, that's very common.
we were talking about one case, right?
Yes.
When this lady thought she was having a relationship with some singer
Yeah.
or actor, and that they needed money.
Yes. It was quite a recent thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and she believed, and this was in the US, I think, or the
Yes.
UK. They actually believe that they're having a relationship.
Or that even a celebrity would send you a friend request.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's a small celebrity, I don't know, okay? But if it's a international star,
they don't
wow.
have time.
Yeah, they're not even the ones doing the social
Yeah,
media, and
yeah,
they're not the ones asking for friend requests. It's people they're probably receiving, and
yeah,
accepting all the time. Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
weird. Yeah, but it's so common. I had on TikTok, I had David Beckham. Yeah, I was like, yeah, David Beckham want to be my TikTok. Okay, TikTok you can just follow lah, right? It
Yeah,
doesn't. They don't
yeah,
really
yeah,
communicate. But this person actually sent me a message
yeah.
to say, which part of the world are you from?
Yeah,
David Beckham. Yeah.
yeah. Usually these messages, I don't even, I mean, because
Yeah.
mine is visible and public, right? It's because of work, right? So all these messages come in and auto put into junk mail,
Right. Right.
auto delete, right? At one
Yeah.
stage, there was a lot. I think it has actually, the numbers have
Because
come
they know
down.
it's not effective.
Mhm.
Yeah. Then you get all these. It's fake on Instagram. That's quite common.
Mm,
Someone just saying, "Oh, hello, hi," "Hi, beautiful." "Oh, I love
mm,
your eyes,"
yeah,
But it's like so fake.
yeah.
Yeah. Then I always have this suspicion is someone who doesn't like me trying to get me in trouble.
Mm,
That is always my suspicion, but it's probably just some scammer lah, not
yeah,
anyone I
yeah,
know. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But now they don't use people, they use AI. So they used to have these centers, right, where they make these people like type in all these
right,
scam
right.
or make phone calls, but then now it's
Now it's just the
AI.
bots, right?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, don't believe everything that we see online,
Scary.
especially social media. No one, and don't start a relationship with someone online. That's the thing I don't understand. They say they're dating, but they've never met. How can you
Mm.
date someone you've never met and you are
Virtual
only chatting? You can't call that person your boyfriend.
Zoom dating.
Why would you say you are that person is your boyfriend or your girlfriend if you never met them? That's the thing I don't
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
Yeah.
Video conferencing dating.
Yeah. You can say virtual dating, yes, but
Virtual
don't
dating.
call the person your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Is you sell your whole emotional self into the whole thing.
That's what hooks them or
Yeah.
gets them hooked. It's the emotional part.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always that. Yeah. I watched a whole Netflix documentary on this con man who scammed don't know how many women around the world. Right? I'm sure you might have
Yes.
watched it.
I think I've seen
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the women are young and attractive women. And then he's like married with a kid and he pretends to be this international billionaire type with uh private jet, you know, boats of his own, and then he will initially buy them a lot of nice things and don't know how he gets hold of them. He's probably scams other people to pay for
Mm,
the new victims, right? Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Then in the end, the women who were interviewed found out that he was actually already married with a child, and that's how he makes his living, like getting money from them eventually. And
Through dating apps, right?
yes, it's through dating apps.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah. Then he goes to the restaurant it always appears like the staff know him very well, as if he's a regular at these very posh restaurants. Don't know how he does it.
Wow.
Evil.
I saw one case, could be on Netflix as well. The guy, they could never convict the guy. And it's still
I
out
think
there.
that's the one.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that's the one. Yeah.
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 So he asked for money because he keeps saying that because he's so wealthy, people want to kill him. He has assassins trying to kill him, get his enemies want to get rid of him. So I cannot come and see you. I'm hiding. You need to get ready ransom money in case I get kidnapped. And yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know whether the wife knew he was doing this or she was in on it. Don't know. And
so devastating. Can you
yes,
imagine?
and one of the girlfriends, traveled with him on the private jet with the wife and the kid. Yeah,
You didn't know?
she knew, but he said they were already divorced because the kid is part of his family, his life, right? So it's like they don't have a relationship anymore, but he's just looking after them. So this woman actually went on the holiday with them.
That is just weird. Like, can't you see, like, if the vibe is off, like, they're still intimate or they're still...
They didn't seem intimate. So I don't know. Maybe it's not even really his wife. Maybe it's his sister. Who
So
knows?
weird.
Yeah, it's just pretending. Yeah.
Wow.
Very elaborate.
Very, very elaborate. Yeah, it's like there's a whole thing, right? Like they built this whole life, the story, and the long game. They're so patient, you know.
Yes. And I think part of them believe that they are that person. After a while, you know, the scammer begins to think that, yeah, I am truly this. So
Moral of the
scary.
story, everyone, don't do online dating. Meet people for real. You have to meet the real person. And if the person is from another country, no lah. Like,
forget it.
yeah, because it's so hard. And if you don't speak the same language, I think that's even harder.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
That's even harder because there is no way. How are you going to know?
Yeah. Then they'll say, oh, there's Google Translate. And I can always learn the language.
Yeah, but long distance, you never know who's behind the...
Correct. The day-to-day.
Yeah.
If you don't know the day-to-day,
it's very hard.
Yeah. Nothing is for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are always good people out there who are not out to scam anyone and truly want to share their lives.
Yeah.
In a real way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for a real person.
Correct. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This was an interesting conversation.
Yeah.